So there was a time that I used to drink a lot of sweet tea, growing up, and then even for a period of time, a lot of Coca-Cola, but I rarely drink either of those. And I want to let you know that if you're somebody who drinks a lot of sugary, sweet beverages, then especially if you want to lose weight, you gotta cut them out. I'm not saying you can never have them again, but I'm saying you gotta cut them out for a period of time so that you break your addiction, because breaking addiction is going to be the way that you bust through your fat loss plateau. So I told this story before and I'll tell it here again that there was a time in particular with Coca-Cola, which has probably been my favorite soda since sometime when I was in, maybe, I don't know, high school, middle school. Sorry. Anyhow, there was a time in particular that my family and I went to Cracker Barrel, which, if you're not from the South, it's like a home cooking, Southern cooking type of restaurant here here in the South. And I got 5 refills of Coca-Cola. Now, I'm not necessarily the type of person who would drink, sweet stuff all day, like always kind of have a cup with me. However, um, I liked a good crispy Coca-Cola every now and then, especially a Coca-Cola on the rocks, as I would call it. Coca-Cola fresh with ice, where the Coke hasn't had where the ice hasn't quite melted yet, maybe slightly melted, but only slightly. But anyhow, um, I had 5 refills, and when I was drinking that fifth refill, I was like, Shawn, this is ridiculous. You know better than this. And so, I'm sorry. And so I was like, on that day, I decided that I need to cut it, like stop drinking it. Okay. And I did. And, time passed by. And to be honest, I kind of even forgot about Coca Cola for a time. Now, that said, I know that the next time I had a Coca Cola, it's been many, many years since this initial incident, but I know the next time I had a Coca Cola was months and months later. And did I enjoy it? Sure, I did. But I regained control over myself, from the standpoint of I could go to a place and didn't have to buy Coca Cola. I could know that that's an option and just not get it. But I felt convicted about drinking all that Coca-Cola because I knew it wasn't good for me. We know that Coke is filled with sugar and, it has the acid and all this kind of stuff. We know that this stuff is not good for us. And I knew that. And so that's when I knew I shouldn't be doing this. And so I was able to just kind of cut all my consumption of it, from that particular episode and move on with my life. And so now I have maybe 1 or 2 Coca-Colas a year. And that's like no lie. Like really. I have a Coca-Cola right now that my mother-in-law bought me probably like a year and a half ago. It's in the fridge. It's been in the fridge the whole time. I mean, it's never been open. I don't know if it's flat. Maybe not, since it's been closed. It was never open, but I can look at that thing every now and then. I kind of am slightly curious, like, I wonder how that would be. But I don't really have any real big desire for it. Now, sweet tea, um, I don't know exactly when I stopped drinking it, but like I just at some point was just more so really focused on drinking more water. And again, I even forgot about sweet tea. It really wasn't even until recently I realized, I used to drink a lot of sweet tea and I just don't really drink it anymore. Do I like it? Sure I do. Especially you go certain places that are known for good sweet tea. But I don't remember the last time we made sweet tea here at my home, like brewed our own sweet tea. Um, but I still like it. But it doesn't have a hold on me. That's really the best way I can describe. It doesn't have a hold on me. And now, if you were dealing with a weight issue, the thing that I usually tell people, matter of fact, I was telling somebody today, the thing that I usually tell people is it's the drinks that you probably need to tackle first, because it's a lot easier to drink calories than it is to eat calories. Lots of them, because you don't necessarily get full per se off of drink. You might get bloated from like, soda or something like that, but you don't necessarily get full off a drink. Then you can drink sweet drinks with food. And so that's a ton of calories, a ton of sugar, wreaking havoc, on your system, putting, all this glucose in your bloodstream that your body has to release extra insulin for, so on and so forth, so it helps to raise the risk of diabetes and, of course, obesity and all the other issues that kind of cascade from that. So if you are addicted to sweet beverages, I always recommend that you tackle those first, specifically by cutting them out, if not through a partial fast, and even by just doing like a fast, like, um, and what'll happen is that you'll lose the taste for it, or at least, not to say you don't still like it, but you won't really have as strong of cravings for it anymore. Even if it is like a 0-calorie drink, I recommend that, because a lot of those diet drinks affect you the same way that non-diet drinks do. But even think about it this way. Even if they didn't, the issue is having that desire for a sweet taste. If you don't, it's nothing wrong with liking sweets per se. It's just that the sweet stuff is like the type of stuff that, it's supposed to be more of like a treat. I think the way that we tend to see it in nature, it tends to be more like a treat. And then there is no example. Well, I can't necessarily, I guess I have to be careful when I say that. But to have it have sugar in such a concentrated manner as it is in drinks is not necessarily something that's readily available in nature like that. The closest thing I can think of is maybe like honey. But then again, to get to the honey, you got to go through a whole lot of angry bees and whatnot. But my point still is, it's the sweet taste itself that you have to really tackle, not just whether it has sugar or not, but the sweet taste itself. Because once you do that, then you've developed a discipline. And I believe it's the discipline that really matters. It's the developing the discipline over your sweet tooth, so to speak, over your appetite, that really has the lasting results, rather than kind of like, well, let me just still kind of get the sensation, but then eliminate the consequences. That doesn't always tend to really work that well. Um, Over time, I think that we have a lot of solutions that essentially offer that, but they end up not being as good as they seem. So anyway, if you want to lose fat, tackle the drinks first. I told you how I did it. Hopefully, it'll help you to know how to do it. Yeah, if you have any other questions about breaking that sweet tooth, or that particularly that taste for sweet drinks, put them in the comments, because I don't know. There could be some of you who there's a little difference in your story, or you have a question more specifically that I can answer for you. So just let me know in the comments. Thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a good one. As we get older, it becomes increasingly important to maintain and build muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat, stay mobile, and can contribute to longevity. However, many people have no idea how to work out to build muscle. My mini workout series on Patreon provides you with my bodyweight mini workout video library. These workouts use little to no equipment, which means that you can do them in the privacy of your own home. They start at beginner level and progress from there to ensure you continue to see results. Every workout is a full body workout, hitting chest, back, legs, and glutes, as well as other muscles in between. Become a patron today and receive access to my series of mini workouts, plus access to a digital copy of my book, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. By combining the workouts with healthy diet changes, as outlined in my book, you'll definitely be on your way to weight loss, improved health, and visible results. Join me at patreon.com/ShawnB2B Fitness today.